All right, so NFL schedule just dropped yesterday, and I know I'm not the only one that's going through trying to see who's going to come out with the best record, who's going to win this year's Super Bowl. But this time, it's my standings predictions for the NFL. So we will start this out in the AFC, starting with the AFC East. First place right now, I got the Buffalo Bills. Buffalo kind of has this division by ease, thanks to no more Tom Brady. It's going to be interesting to see how New England does, but I got Buffalo at top 10-6. Then I have New England at second place at 9-7. Following Tom Brady leaving, Jarrett Stidham's going to probably get off to a rocky start, but I can see him being decent down the stretch, maybe. I don't know. It's really questionable. I can't really put them on a losing record with Bill Belichick as our coach, though. And I think 9-7 is pretty easy, predictable record for him. Then we have the New York Jets at 6-10. Adam Gase still their head coach. He's going to hold them back. And it's a tough schedule this year for them. So it's just going to hold them back completely. Then we have Miami Dolphins at 6-10. I really think Miami could win a little bit more. Their head coaching spectacular. Of course, you know, from Belichick's tree of coaches. So you have that connection. But I just don't see too much a high step until Tua comes in and like fully developed, which is going to be like another year or two. So that's when they'll make the playoffs. Then next we have the AFC North, and I have Baltimore at 11-5. They are going to regress a little bit, but I don't see it being that too big of a problem. I think they'll still figure out ways to win. I don't think they'll have as spectacular as like a 14-2 season, but I still think they'll be like that 10-12. 13 range. Then after them, we have the Pittsburgh Steelers. I have them going 9-7. Pittsburgh Steelers are kind of getting the hype that the Cleveland Browns got last year, and it's kind of scaring me because Big Ben's gotten older and he had that surgery. So he had Tommy John surgery, which is classically known for pitchers, but it also could be because his shoulder's just not as strong as it was before, and that's why his elbow got weakened. It's like a whole like connection of muscles. Trust me, I know I partially tore my UCL, which is what Tommy John surgery is all about. But I don't think Big Ben's going to fully be back to like full strength that he was before. I still think Pittsburgh's going to be a better team. That's why I have them at 9-7. But I don't think they're going to be as good as what everybody thinks they will be. Then we have the Cleveland Browns. I think they're going to go 8-8, which first time head coach, not really the greatest offseason to work in a new head coach either. And Baker's still trying to connect with everybody. I think 8-8 is just a good predictable record for them, basically. And then we have Cincinnati. I have them going 4-12. Just a tough schedule for them. And it's still Burrow's first year. I could see them starting to spark up. I could see them competitive, but I don't think they're going to really win a bunch of games, which is why I have them at 4-12. Then we move on to the AFC South, where I have Indianapolis at the top, of course, at 11-5. Just hear me out for a sec. Their defense is absolutely fantastic. They literally built that defense from the ground up. Adding Forrest Buckner in the middle, it's like a completely new defense almost. And then on the offensive side, they finally got a quarterback, and they got someone who could back up the quarterback in case he went down. Some people forget that they were 5-2 before Jacoby Brissett went down with the injury. And then he kind of got skittish and just didn't want to risk anything, getting hurt or something like that. And they went 2-7 the rest of the way. Also, this is probably Philip Rivers' last time going through. So, he does look like he's going to retire after this year, especially already taking that high school coaching job. So, I got to put him in here, 11-5. Then, right behind them is Tennessee at 10-6. I don't think they're going to really regress that much. You saw what Marcus Mariota did with that team. He went 9-7. Ryan Tannehill is a much better quarterback than what Marcus Mariota is, and he's a lot better suited for that offense. I don't see them really regressing too much. I think 10-6 is a good record prediction for them. Maybe 9-7, but somewhere around that range is a good prediction for them. Then I have Houston next at 6-10. Deshaun Watson can't do everything. Brandon Cooks is not DeAndre Hopkins. They got no one up there who can just go get the ball. Maybe if Will Fuller has a healthy season, they'll be a little bit better. J.J. Watt can barely stay on the field. They literally have no defense at all. Their offensive line has one player and Laremy Tunsil. So I don't see how you can predict them winning games when they don't have an offensive line. They don't really have a running back. They don't have really any number one wide receiver. They have a decent core, but there's no one there, like no one that's actually like absolutely spectacular. They're number one, and their defense is weak. This team isn't very good. I don't understand why people would have them winning more than probably 8-9 games, but whatever. Next, we got the Jacksonville Jaguars, who I predict will go 2-14. Minshew Mania is a hard one to predict, but that defense everybody's gone. Basically, that whole team's gone. There's just a bunch of rookies, a bunch of young players on it right now. It's just a development year for them, and I just see them going 2-14 this year, especially with a pretty tough schedule. Next, we have the AFC West. I got the Kansas City Chiefs on top, going 12-4. Of course, it's Kansas City. Mahomes, basically everybody returned. That's that. So, then we move on. Denver Broncos, I got them going 8-8. Denver Broncos got better, but I don't think they're better enough yet. I still want to see a little bit more out of Drew Lock before I can put them on top or winning 9-10 games, which I think we'll see an improvement this year, and then come next year, he'll be winning 10 games. Next, we have the Las Vegas Raiders. This seems just hard to predict. I like what they're building, but at the same time, it's just Derek Carr's their quarterback. I have no idea what to expect from him. That's why I have them going 6-10. I just don't know what to expect. Then we have the Chargers at 5-11. They have no O-line. You can't tell me Tyrod Taylor is going to do well without an offensive line. You saw how he did in Cleveland. He was not that good without the O-line. Then you have Justin Herbert behind him. Herbert ain't going to do well if Taylor gets hurt or he just gets thrown in there. It's not going to end well. They're going 5-11, and I'll be pretty solid with that. Then we move on to the NFC East, where I have the Philadelphia Eagles on top for 10-6. Eagles are a good team. I think they're trying to make their last push kind of for a Super Bowl because that window's almost there, almost closed. And it's hard to put them higher than 10 wins, especially when their team's okay. They don't really have the greatest receivers, but it's going to be an interesting season from them, no doubt. Then I have the Dallas Cowboys right behind them at 9-7. The Cowboys are a tough one because I don't know what to really expect from Dak Prescott at all. I think 9-7 is a pretty easily predictable record for them, and it seems what they usually do, especially with Dak as the quarterback. Next, I have the New York Giants at 7-9. This is probably going to be the biggest surprise because I kind of have them making a big jump. I think Joe Judge is going to really come in there and do his thing, and he's actually going to make those players work. And they're going to win some surprising ones that nobody really expects them to win. I think Daniel Jones will take a step up. The offensive line got a lot better. Saquon Barkley hopefully won't get hurt this season, which should help them a lot. So 7-9, I think, is a good record for them. And then I have the Washington Redskins at 6-10. I don't think Ron Rivera is going to do magic his first year, but Dwayne Haskins is working his way. He's still got more to develop, but if give him this year and maybe next year, next year he's gonna get 8 wins this, and then after that I predict 10 wins. But Haskins is gonna be one day a good starting quarterback, above average quarterback in this league. And I think Washington at 6-10 to begin Ron Rivera's career there is a good record to start off. Next, we had the NFC North, which I have the Minnesota Vikings taking at 11-5. This one might be a little surprised because I have Green Bay second, but I think Minnesota is a better team than what Green Bay is. I kind of like what they have more fully than what Green Bay did, plus they actually improved it compared to Green Bay. Then, of course, Green Bay, I have it 9-7. Just don't see the wide receiver talent. The linebackers aren't very good. If they had their rookies maybe develop, or their second-year players develop more, I could see them going higher. But last year kind of helped that they just had a weak schedule. And this year, I just don't see it helping them. I think they'll barely squeak into the playoffs this year, really. Then I have the Chicago Bears at 8-8. Chicago finally is going to have at least a decent quarterback. Their defense is absolutely amazing still. It's just can't really show off the defense when you don't have an offense winning games. So you don't really get talked about that much. But if this offense can finally start putting things together, I could definitely see them winning this division. And then, of course, the wild card in this division is the Detroit Lions. I have them going 6-10. There's always a hard team to predict because you never know what they could possibly do. They have a decent team, but like they're also not like the greatest team. It's just a tough one to predict. So I just have them going 6-10 or like 7-9, basically somewhere around there. Then we have the NFC South, and I got TB12 taking Tampa Bay to the top at 12-4. I'm not a Brady fan, but I think Tom Brady is going to really develop that Tampa Bay offense. He's kind of going to put his own spin on it. Bruce Arians will do his thing, and Tampa Bay is going to be one of the better teams in this league. I think they'll barely finish ahead of New Orleans, who I also have right there behind them at 11-5. And 5 losses is a little many, but Drew Brees is going to regress a little bit, which I think will cause a little more losses than what they usually get. But I wouldn't take it too much of a worry, as he'll still be playoff ready. It don't matter. They're in the playoffs. That's what really matters. Then I have Atlanta at 6-10. They're also a pretty tough one to predict since you never really know what Matty Ice is doing. Who knows what Todd Gurley is going to do. Julio and Calvin Ridley are still there. The offensive line is decent. Then you just have their defense just kind of like a mess, but like somewhat okay. They're just a tough team to predict. They're going to probably get around 6-8 wins still. Then we have the Carolina Panthers. I have them going 2-14. Matt Rule usually takes a year to actually develop his team to a winning culture. We saw this at Temple. He did terrible his first year there. Saw this at Baylor. He did terrible his first year there. Then he gradually progresses each team to have a better record. And that's what I kind of expect with Carolina as well. He'll gradually progress each year to have a better record until he's just roaming the top in the NFC South for a couple years. And then last, we have the NFC West. So on top of the NFC West, I have the San Francisco 49ers going 13-3. Their team didn't really regress at all. They got honestly better left tackle than what they used to have. And it's my only problem with them. I don't think they'll have struggle winning games. I think they'll struggle winning against good teams though, since I don't think Brandon Ayuk's the same level as Emmanuel Sanders quite yet. Maybe he'll eventually get there, but I just don't see the upgrade there. It's a little bit more of a downgrade, but it's going to be interesting to see how that plays out. And then we have Seattle at 11-5. Clowney could possibly still come back. We still don't know. He's still on the market, but Seattle is always a hard team to predict. They're going to travel a bunch. Maybe if they didn't travel as much, I'd probably have them winning more games, like 12-13. But this team just travels all the time. Traveling gets annoying, gets tiring. That's part of the reason why I have them going 11-5. And then Arizona, I have going 8-8. I added D-Hop. Kyler Murray still developing. I predict them to be more in competition for the NFC West come next season. But this is a great step in the right direction, especially since they got Isaiah Simmons, and then they got Josh Jones in the draft as well. Next, we have the LA Rams. Rams just got a tough schedule. They're 5 primetime games. Sean McVay's still the coach, but like Jared Goff can't do anything. They have almost no draft picks to even try to get better players into Sean McVay's system to develop them. I have them going 4-12. I just don't see it with this team. They are not looking on the bright side, and I don't think you can really fire Sean McVay. Maybe they fire their GM here soon, and we see what happens from there. But it's just a rough path, especially for a team that looks decent on paper, but just doesn't perform to that level. So if I had to do like a way too early Super Bowl prediction, really, I gotta say Kansas City's gotta be my team, and either New Orleans or Tampa Bay from the other side. I think that's who. It's going to be one of those NFC South teams, and then Kansas City on the other side. I really think Kansas City is going to take it all again. They didn't really lose anyone. Only gotten better. Got some additional players. Got Clyde Edwards-Helaire to go on that offense. That's already absolutely amazing. Yeah, have fun stopping that. So that's my thoughts and my predictions on how the standings and my Super Bowl kind of predictions too. If you guys agree or disagree, put that down in the comments below. If you guys have a suggestion for another video, make sure to put that down in the comments below as well. Also, thank you guys for watching. Make sure to click those links down there in the description. Instagram, Twitter, Discord, and Patreon. And of course, you just make sure to keep the sports leaf flowing throughout the day.